Trader.com's Daily Brief. The answer to your question is learn the goddamn process, trade your trading plans, don't take too much risk on any one trade, and just let yourself get rich.
All right, everybody, welcome back to an episode of Up Only. This is the new Up Only Market, sponsored by Jay Powell. And if you didn't notice, I maybe look a little bit different on camera. This is what I really look like in real life. I've changed to using my phone camera because the DSLR camera I have just seems to suck. So I use my smartphone and it seems to look a lot better. I'm going to pull up the live chat. We're going to do some live talks. I thought it'd be good to do a live show today because I'm back in Bangkok. I've got the amazing camera and Powell just launched all of the fireworks. Everything's been launched. Kamala and whatever his name is definitely don't want the market going down. They don't want to lose the election. And I believe the man behind the curtain, whoever's involved, is firing on all cylinders to make sure that Trump does not get into the office. That's the plan. At least that's what it seems like to me. I don't want to get too political. I'm pulling up the YouTube so I could see your comments. And we'll get going. And I'll shrink myself because I'm sure you don't want to look at my face the whole time. But it is very clear. Look at this. I love this camera. So much better. Hello, Kevin. Hello, DDB. Hello, Nor. Hello, Gills. Welcome, guys. Sorry for the late start. Had to adjust the camera a little bit. Figure out how to get the smartphone working. So hopefully you enjoy it. I'm gonna... Yep, he definitely did, Cotter. And good to see you. All right, so I will shrink myself. Sure you don't want to look at my face this big the whole time. Look at my nice plant in the background, and that's a printer. That's a printer, and that's a plant, and it was a little bit messier behind me. I cleaned it up for the show, trying to go for the classic look. We can always do the green screen later if you guys prefer the green screen, but I think this is fine. All right, I'm going to shrink myself, and we're going to get into it here. All right, let's go right there. And I'll be a little bit smaller. I think that's big enough, right? I'm not taking up. You can still see me, but mostly you're focused on what's going on over there. Okay, so the first thing I want to show is look at the greed index. Already we're into greed. Within like, what was this? This was, let me look at the chart down here. We were already going into greed. I mean, this is the S&P. Where's the like 125-day moving average of the everything's, look at this, stock price strength, extreme greed. Greed. So I want to see like over here we go. Here's the timeline. Yeah. So this was, look at how we were just at fear only about a week ago. And now we just slowly went up, and then we were at yesterday we were already at 61, and now we're at 68 greed. We got to get to extreme greed. Now, where is extreme greed on the chart? Well, I talked about this before, right? We're at 5,722. And where's my target? All the way up here, 5,900. And you can see the breakout, right? Don't fight the Fed. I mean, I kind of think it's a joke at this point, right? Like it's a joke. Everything's just controlled by the central banks. They decide what is going to happen. And in a way, that control is then created by whoever is behind the curtain pulling all the strings with the U.S. as far as the election is concerned. And I'm sure you've seen the multitude of strange events that are going on the past couple months with one political party being massively favored over the other one. I don't know. Looks weird to me. It's all weird, and it's like we really are living in a matrix. So anyway, from what I can see, the matrix wants us to go to 5,950. That looks like the target. This was my 5-wave series that I talked about, and this is the final 5th wave all the way up to this potentially 5,950, 6,000 target. And I think that's what we're going to get. I don't see anything kind of stopping this. Full steam ahead. Could even do like an ABCD here, right? All the way up to here. And then we just copy that and we go all the way up here. And that points to 5,900 almost. almost 5,900. I could be a little bit more aggressive to get my ultimate target. You know, if I'm like this, that'll give me probably. I like to be more conservative. So we can say like 5,850 to 6,000. We're almost halfway there. We're already almost there. Look at this. Here's 5,900. Only a little bit further to go. Only 200 points. It's not really that much in the grand scheme of things if you think about it. And it's going to happen faster than you think. Like this is just up only for the next couple of days. This is the time to go, boop, okay, bye. And that's what everybody's doing. That's what I'm doing. And you can see how things are just going straight up. Look at Rune. Rune's going to go straight to 550. We're going to go right up here. It's just going to right up to the 200-day moving average. It's not going to stop. You're not going to get any pullbacks. You're not going to get a chance to get in. Your chance was yesterday. And if you were sleeping like me, you missed the chance to put on those leverage trades. But luckily, I'm like almost 100% long in spot. So not really missing out. Just didn't get my amazing leverage entries. Although I entered a few in the morning with strategic areas. Not amazing entries, but I don't have a choice. I've seen this before, and there's no pullbacks. It's just going to go straight up to the target, and you're either jump in or you're going to miss out. But you got to time your entry because there's always the possibility of very fast pullbacks. Okay, I'm going to get into crypto. We're going to talk about crypto. I want to talk a little bit more about the stock market. Do you guys want me to go into why the Fed cut by 0.5%? Like, I think it's obvious, and I think a lot of other YouTubers have already spoken about that. I mean, Ben Shapiro, like that Graham guy, some other guy, they all, Andre Jick, they all came out with videos within like minutes of the Fed announcing it as if they pre-recorded like 2 different videos. It's pretty impressive on their part. So I don't know if you want me to bother talking about that kind of stuff or if you just want to see the charts and like my prediction of where we're going. Whatever's more beneficial, you guys maybe give me some feedback. But my target doesn't change. I've been talking about this for probably a month now, of this being my main target and where I expected us to go. I'm very long in basically everything. That's what made sense. Like it just and then the question is, why is the market going up? So we lowered rates by 0.5%. So is the market rallying just because everyone's excited because interest rates are dropping? Or is it rallying maybe because there's a lot of money in money market funds and stuff like that? And as the interest rate is lowered, those money market funds make less. So they're pushed into the market. They have to buy assets because that's where the yield is. You can't keep stuff in a money market fund. You won't make as much. So every time they lower interest rates, asset prices come out of the money market funds and they get pushed into stocks and other assets. That's how it works. It's that simple. It's just money floating around the system, and Powell knows that, and that's why he did it. He was probably going to do 0.25, and someone from behind the curtain probably called him up and said, look, we got to win this election. We got to win. Do 0.5%. You got to do it. You got to do it. And he did it. And it's a fact that and you can ask ChatGPT or look into it. You can fact check me that the incumbent party has a higher chance of staying the party in power if the stock market is up. If the stock market's fucked, then there's a higher chance that the incoming party will win the election. And they don't want that to happen. They're doing everything they can to make sure that Donald Trump does not get into the office. And why do they not want him in the office? Well, the answer is obvious, because he cannot be controlled like the other potential candidate seems to be able to be controlled. That's what it's all about. Yeah, I'm going to talk about TLT. I'm a little bit annoyed that it's not happy. Why is it not happy? I don't actually know, because I also noticed that, and I have a significant amount of TLT. We can, yeah. Well, let me talk about the S&P a little bit more. Yeah, I mean, if Trump still wins, that would be shocking, but a lot of weird stuff is happening, and it's clear that they are going to do everything in their power to make sure he does not win. That seems to be the number one goal. Do not let Trump win. Okay, so S&P, I kind of gave my thoughts on that. I always look at Tesla. Tesla's taking off. I'm quite heavy in some Tesla longs. Maybe finally I'll get my massive targets up at like $700 that I've talked about. We've broken out of this downtrend. We did it before. We came down, retested, and now it looks like it could possibly be liftoff mode. I've talked about this monthly chart many times. This is the big monthly W. We've got to break out above 300 and kind of hold it. And then the sky's the limit. Maybe that's the time when finally things start coming out about the Optimus robot. So that's what I'm looking for, this breakout and that move to 700 up here. That's a big one. I'm watching it closely. Nvidia, I think Nvidia's story is getting kind of old. I think it's an old story. I wouldn't be too excited about Nvidia going forward. I think it's, it's sitting up here at it hit a 9 on Tom DeMark. I don't see it going much higher from here. But as long as the market keeps going up, at least it's gonna stay up there, because the market cap is so big that if it drops, it's gonna pull the whole market down. But I don't see the story here as much as I see it with something like Tesla. So that's kind of my thoughts on Nvidia. It can still go higher from here. Don't get me wrong. It can. Like if we look at a daily chart, right? Daily chart actually hasn't broken out yet. You need to push higher. We need to go up above like 125, and then we can see a higher move, and potentially chaos points to potentially 200 doubling. I have a hard time believing this. Maybe 150, maybe. I have a hard time believing it can go to 200. So I'm gonna grain of salt with that one. All right, so that's Nvidia, Tesla. Those are the kind of the big ones. I could go through all of them. I don't know how interested you guys are in that stuff. I'm thinking it's more interesting to talk about like what Cotter mentioned, the treasury bonds, and like why the pullback. I don't actually know the answer to that. I don't know why treasury bonds are pulling back. They should have rallied. Like treasury bonds should rally. I mean, it must be a buy the rumor, sell the news type of thing, right? So this was the rally from like buying the rumor of the Fed lowering rates. And then when they finally did it, they're like, oh, all right, time to pull the rug out. And maybe it takes out the lows here, and then we can continue upward. It's something like that. I'm not really watching. I'm thinking about treasury bonds from like TLT, treasury bond ETF, from a long-term perspective. I'm thinking over the next year, they're going to keep lowering rates, and TLT should continue to go higher, and that's why I'm holding it. Oh, okay. Chris is mentioning about a Japanese bank going under. I don't know much about that. I have to look into it. Maybe you can Google about Japanese bank failure, and that could affect things for sure. We could look at the yen carry trade. How is that going? Yeah, so the yen is rebounding. That's bullish for stocks. So you have a 9 on the weekly. So if the yen is going to continue to weaken, then that is going to be bullish for asset prices, because then that yen carry trade can continue and things can be pushed higher. And maybe even some of that money from the yen carry trade was in money market funds, and then now it's getting pushed into the market. But believe it or not, the actual global liquidity hasn't changed that much. We're kind of still stagnant here, right? There's no real, everything's kind of flatlined. Still flatlining. But the market and Bitcoin are rallying because of the interest rate dropping. But I don't see an increase in the liquidity index that I follow, at least. Something else to keep in mind. All right, so let's talk about what's going on with Bitcoin. By the way, gold and silver, I think, are rallying. Maybe all right, maybe I touch on those first. Let's see. I talked about silver many times. We're at 31. Target is up here at 35. Could even go higher than that. But this was the main target, 35. So I do expect silver to hit that. Beyond that point, I'm not really sure. We'll have to reevaluate. Gold. Yeah, gold's way into my selling zone. But the 4.669 target we drew a long time ago, and it was a conservative target, by the way, is at 3,000. So I wouldn't be surprised to see gold move that high. You can even see here, and right there. And this is the ABCD 2,700. Expect some kind of pause around that area if you're interested in gold and trading it. I'm not personally trading gold or silver. I own a bunch of silver I bought when it was like $12, like 10 years ago now. But other than that, I don't really have anything. I can't believe, like, I'm thinking back how much I bought. It's actually not. It was like $2,000 back then, and now it's, I guess it's like 5,000. It's really not that much. Like, if I just bought $2,000 worth of Bitcoin back then, it would be worth a lot more. Like, life-changing more. While the silver is just kind of protecting. Just keep in mind that buying metals basically is just protecting you from inflation. That's all. You're not gonna make insane amounts. Okay, crypto. Let's talk about crypto. Crypto. Oh, 28 people watching. Good to see you, all of you guys. 28 people watching, but only like 4 people talking. Why are only 4 people talking? I want more audience participation. It's good for the algo. The more people that are talking, the more YouTube pushes the video out. And the longer I will talk. By the way, school started this week. The sale is technically closed, but it's quite a low class this semester. So if you know anybody that's interested in taking the school, or yeah, you have some friends, we have the affiliate code. You can get like $200. I think you can get like $200 or $250 from like recommending someone to take the school through your affiliate code. Or we can pass the discount on to that person, and you just say, this is my referral, and we can give them a nice discount to take the school. But this is the time to get them in before the market really goes crazy or potentially crashes next year. And the classes are small right now. There's not that many people that are that interested in the market yet. So just something to think about. I can fit them in for the next couple days, maybe like a week. But we started Monday. So yeah, that's little mention about the school. Okay, why are you guys still not talking? Do you think the crypto market has bottomed out? Well, let's look at Bitcoin. Has it bottomed? I do think that there's a pretty big chance that Bitcoin is turning around here. If the Fed is lowering interest rates, the next thing is to inject liquidity in the system. Harris, definitely, the powers that be do not want Harris or Walls to lose, and they are doing everything in their power to put them on little high chairs and carry them into the White House. How high do I think Bitcoin is going to go? That's a great question. Well, if this is our consolidation pattern and we flip it, see, you guys ask questions and I answer. There we go. If we flip it, chaos points to 130K. That's what we get from chaos. If I'm a little bit more conservative, 120K. I think it's possible. I don't see why that couldn't happen. If I go even more conservative, then we got like 110. I think it's going to go over 100K. I think you're going to have, what's going to happen is we're going to get to like 90K. Actually 85 to 90. You're going to have a lot of people selling in that area. They're going to front run it and sell. And then you're going to push to 100K. You'll have even more people selling. And then you get over 105, 110. And I think people will be worried it's going to go to 150 or 200K. And they're going to start buying back in, which is going to push it to that 120, 130. And then that's where it's going to top out. And the people who are greedy are going to get fucked over. That's kind of because that 100K is such a big number, right? So I could see people trying to front run selling that, and then Bitcoin pushing above that, and then them FOMOing back in, thinking that they're going to miss some 150K, 200K rally. I mean, well, Kevin, the Fed already lowered the interest rate, right? So he lowered it 0.5%. Now you want me to predict if they're going to lower it more? I think it all depends on what the market does. As long as the market stays up going into the election, I don't see them lowering it more. But if there's a wiggle, and it seems like the market's not going to be green all the way up into election day, they'll probably lower it more. They'll do another 0.25%. I think there's a lot of political pressure going on here. And even though Powell keeps saying the Fed is unbiased, all that stuff, I don't believe it for a minute. I don't think so. I think that they are beholden to the political establishment and corporations and stuff like that. Do I think crypto's bottomed? I think GLS, I think that it has. I don't really see us going lower from here. I mean, a lot of these shitcoins look like they want to move higher. Hello, music. Welcome. This is a place where you can ask questions. Ask me questions. I will answer. I mean, a lot of these look good. Easily could see 530 to 550 on Rune. So I'm very long on Rune, very confident in Rune. 535 is the 200-day moving average. That's a good spot to target. You could see on this RSI downtrend here. So everything's green over here. And we are looking very good on this breakout right here. Very, very, very good. This is like full steam ahead bullish. And then we've got the same with things like, I mean, look at FTM on a daily chart. Look at it on a weekly. Look at this reversal. Right? I just do that and boom. 115 is the target. I could see it going to 115, no problem. And that's probably 78.6, 88.6 of the entire range. Right? So from here to here. 88.6, 78.6, 111 is 88.6. That's the exact area you'd want to see it go to, and then that's where you would sell. Yes, pump the YouTube algorithm. Please like the video, like, subscribe, all those things. I would love to get 40 people or even 50, 40, 50. Amazing. I will, if I do, I will know it's because finally I'm using a better camera. And before I was using that crappy DSLR camera. It turns out my random Samsung S23 Ultra is way better. So I'm just going to use it from now on. Well, where do you think we're going to go with the super cycle? I don't have a super cycle chart in front of me. I mean, we could pull it up. What is the Bitcoin super cycle? Where is it? Bitcoin super cycle. I mean, normally I focus on like short-term stuff. So for example, heat map liquidations, right? Up to about 64K. We're kind of good. If we go to 24 hours, yeah, about 64K is the top for liquidations. If we look at the past 1 month, I like to look at this heat map. I've been seeing you guys posting it around TRI a lot more lately ever since I shared it. Let me see here, 3 months. Yeah, so a lot at 72K. Oh, that's the ultimate, 72, 76. Let's go to 1 year. If we want to talk about like long term. All the way up to about 85. So this makes sense with what I'm talking about, right? So if we go back, Bitcoin, 85K is my 2.618 of this chaos level breakout here. Back to a daily chart, right? So let me adjust this right here. And I like to be conservative, so we're going to go there. And you can see 83 is 2.618. So oftentimes price will go up, hit the 1.618, roll over, play in that area, move higher, hit 2.618. 2.618 is 83. Now that's going to be major resistance. And if we look here, we've got, oh, big liquidation at, what do you know, 73 to 74K. That is my 1.618 level. Basically, we're within 1,000 points of it. And then the next liquidation level is, let's go, where is the 6 months? There was like 85K somewhere, or I'm imagining things, one of the two. But you can see 72, 73 is that big liquidation area. And then we don't have a big one up here, but you can see how above like 85, 87, it really, there's not too much. So this is the final like area where it's going to need to stop, consolidate, and build shorts to be liquidated higher. Does that kind of make sense? So that's why these two zones, this is just like checking, do my chaos zones, or actually fibs, these are fibs, the chaos is the higher level, 4.669. Does it all add up and make sense? And I would say yes, it makes a lot of sense. That's kind of my thesis with Bitcoin. I don't see, like, if you're expecting a pullback from here, I don't see it happening. This is a major breakout, and we're just going to go straight up to 72K. That's what I see happening. It's going to be one of those things where it's just boop, 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 and we're there in like 3 or 4 days. There's nothing that I can see that makes me think, oh, we're going to have some pullback or something bad is going to happen. I don't think so. And I'm super long now. Like I've been spot long for a while, but this morning, and as I mentioned at the beginning of the stream, I added some leverage and stuff like that. This is the time to consider those things, but be careful with your entries because there will be quick, like, doop, down moves that'll fuck you over. They'll be really quick, doop, doop, grab your liquidity and head higher again. So be careful that you don't get burned by that kind of stuff. You can see how Rune had this big pump and then it's just pushing higher. And at some point it's gonna do this, doop, and then it's gonna go like that, boop, and then it's gonna go up. And you'll get liquidated here, and then it'll go higher. So just consider that. You don't want to get burned by this. And it's kind of the same on all of these. See how Solana's doing it now? You're getting it. The liquidation is getting ready to happen. They're going to do it at some point. There's an 8 that came in and it's getting ready to do a pullback before it. They have to liquidate some longs, the late longs. They've got to doop quick. It's going to be quick. And that's why I recommend, setting a couple buys, find some buy targets, set them, get filled, and ride it higher. But because you got to set them ahead of time because you're not going to be able to catch it. It's going to be really fast. What did you say, GLS? Some more bids at 88.6 for LOL then? Or bids on what? What are you talking about? What asset? So FTM, I like. Another one I'm looking at is Optimism protocol. I also like it. I think it looks really great. Look at it where it was back in March. It was at 450. It's only at 160 now. I have a massive amount of this. Massive amount of Optimism. I've been acquiring all down here. All here. I've just been buying it every single week like it's my job. And first target of chaos is at 240. That's a pretty significant move. It's not a double, but it's a decent move. And the next one is at 3.38. If we can even just retrace back to, like, if we take the lows, right? And you go all the way up. Here's my little dot. All right, we go all the way up. You even just go to 50%, you're at $3. If you can go to 78.6 and 88.6, which is where you want to sell for a retracement rally, I mean, I think it can go higher than that. But if you want to be safe and sell on the retracement, this is the area. And what kind of, I mean, even if you didn't buy yet and you're just buying now, say your stop down here, below the lows, doubt it's going to go there. And you just go to like the midpoint here. It's 150% return. I understand in crypto, that's nothing. But you could do 2-3x leverage, just a little bit. And boom, you're at, instead of 150, you're at 300 or 450%, 500%. Now don't get greedy and start thinking, I'm going to do 10x leverage and get 1,500%. You'll probably get liquidated. And don't blame me when it happens. So, just think about that. More than 3x is danger zone. And once you get liquidated, it doesn't reappear. I know from experience. Okay, so that I'm big on optimism. I'm in Solana, of course. It's not doing as well as I had hoped, but it does look like it's breaking out nicely here. I mean, everything's basically breaking out. Like everything. This is just up only insanity. If you're following anybody in crypto on Twitter, they're all like going crazy like monkeys, excited about how high this is going. I don't want to be the same as everyone else, but it looks like up only. I mean, you can't fight the Fed, right? You just can't. Look at this pulling back. See, Ruin, it already took out everyone from the last 2 hours with that pullback. Very tricky. Okay, Rocky asked, can I look at DJT? Trump Media. Oh, 7 on a weekly chart. Wow, this really took a nosedive, huh? I don't see why this wouldn't take out the lows. Oh. Nothing here for me yet. I mean, you could nibble, but there's no reason why this can't go lower. I don't like how bad this weekly chart looks. The entire thing is super bearish. I would wait a little bit. I would let it consolidate before considering any buys on this. I mean, you're getting near a bottom. There's no doubt about that. But I would hold off on this one. I wouldn't buy it just yet. What do you think about render? All right, let's talk about render. Okay, if my viewers do not increase by at least 5 to 35, at least 6 to 35, we're probably gonna call it quits for today. I think I've been going for about 33 minutes. So I think that's enough. Oh, and I gave my opinion on most things. But fingers crossed, we can go above 35 and then I'll just keep talking. Let's look at render in the meantime. Render USDT. Oops. Is that $11 before 13? I mean, yeah, it looks good. Everything, I mean, what can I say? Of course it looks great. Was that $4? It's at 5. Everything looks like it's ready for liftoff. And if this is your zone, then the target's up here at like $13. I don't see why that can't happen. Looks good to me. I prefer Optimism because render right back at its high, you get like 150%. But with Optimism, if it goes back to its highs, you get a lot more than that. Right? I showed you before. Look how much more it has to go. And if you take look at the profit potential, we can get up here. We even went right back to its highs. You've got almost 200%. While with render, I think it was a bit less than that. I can go back, right? So this one you've got. All right, if we just go back to these kind of old high area, you're at just 130. But with Optimism, you're at almost 200. So that's why I'm leaning more towards Optimism. But you can diversify, buy a couple. These are more legacy coins. I would see about trying to do 2 or 3x leverage. They're not going to disappear, and that could help a lot, turning these 100% returns into 200, 300%. But don't go above that. Just understand that you are increasing your risk. But if we get the kind of bull I'm expecting, like where everything just kind of moves up, then you can make significant money pretty fast. You just need to know like when when to stop. Because when things get crazy and it's just blasting off and your portfolio is like massively increased, like, oh, I made $5,000, $10,000, $20,000 in one day, and you do it for like 2 weeks in a row and you're just like, it's hard to stop. You just get sucked in and you turn into this greedy goblin. You don't even know you're a greedy goblin. Everyone else around you knows, but quickly you like don't realize, oh, how did we just go from 34 to 29? How did that happen? Kevin, did you artificially boost the people watching? GRT coin. All right, GRT coin. Boop, 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 boop. Bottomed at 88.6. I mean, yeah, it is all kind of, everything kind of looks the same. I feel like it's Groundhog Day in crypto land. you 100% artificially increased them. Oh, that's funny. That is funny. Yeah, so I mean, it looks amazing. I think you already know this, Cotter. I like this. Damn, Cotter picks are so good. They're so good that you need to do a show. I don't know why I'm doing this. You should be doing it. I don't know why am I here. Yeah, it looks great. Look at this breakout. This is, I mean, what else is there? What else can you call this other than an incredible breakout? And we can say that, this is your W. I just try to get the breakout here above 20 cents. And then I can kind of do my little chaos level right from here. I feel like I'm just doing the same things over and over. I don't know how valuable it is, but so 35 cents. It's a double, And if you can get up to the all-time highs, it's even better, right? It's like a triple. Oh, thank you, Cotter. You don't have to be on camera. Maybe you are handsome. Who knows? Maybe you just need to work on the self-esteem. LTC. Yeah, let's look at Litecoin. Should look at Litecoin and Bitcoin Cash. All right, Litecoin. Oh, Litecoin has been in such a consolidation. Let me clean up these charts. I mean, it all looks the same, don't you guys think? I feel like I'm just like, this is exactly the same as GRT. Just boom on the other side of the trend line. All right, up only again. Let's just moon time. Everything's just, how can this not be called bullish? 3-day bullish, daily chart, super bullish, breakout basically happening on the other side of this long-term trend line. I already tagged the other side of it. Here was your entry at $62, and now it's just party time, up only. And this is the consolidation range, shorter term consolidation range, right? So that points to like $97. I don't see why that can't happen. It makes sense to me. And it goes just above all this range created since May, and you get up to probably the 88.6 area, 78.6, 88.6 area right here, $100. It's very logical to me that we'll hit those levels. Bitcoin Cash also. You guys we're talking about boomer or legacy coins. Bitcoin Cash looks even better than Litecoin. And that's kind of what I'm looking for here. 450. I could see it go to that relatively quickly. I think they both look good. I'd like to see it go to 570. If things get really stupid, it's possible. But it's not necessarily on the other side of the trend line like Litecoin is. Darn, one of my straight lines. I don't know how much this matters, to be honest. I'd like to see us close up here. Actually, I'm gonna raise this a bit. Hit this 360, maybe get to that 400 level. Consolidate and then move higher. Doesn't look as good as Litecoin. I would prefer, if I had to pick the boomer coins, I would pick Litecoin. All right, thank you, Kevin. You are actually doing it, aren't you? It's too funny. I also know how to do that. It's possible. I could boost my views to 200 if I wanted to pay for it. Oh, that's funny. Dot Brian. I saw Brian show some kind of chart when I was talking to him earlier today with Dot, and I thought Dot looked pretty good. Where it's been extremely like beaten down, and now it looks like it's finally ready to do something. Look at that. This is exactly the same as the Litecoin chart. Like it's almost annoying how similar they are. Everything is on the other side of these long-term trend lines. Oh, that's great. Very bullish. Just need the weekly to get on board with the bullishness. 3 days. Nice reversal here. And we should have, like I said, operation up only has been activated. Seems like everything, all systems are a go. I don't know what else you can call this. Just looks good. I would lower that a bit. And that points to like $6. So 50% increase. Not as good as Optimism, not as good as GRT from Cotter. Those would be two that I would pick out of all of this. 37. I don't know who's real and who's not. Kevin, are you doing this? Now I don't know if it's real or not. I'm all confused. But that's great. Amazing. What other coins do I want to talk about? Hello, Thin Air. Welcome. You guys can ask any questions. Any other questions? Anybody want to look at anything? Any confusion? We talked about Solana. I talked about Rune. Talked about Optimism. A lot of the coins I'm talking about are coins that you can do 2 to 3x leverage on. By the way, if you're on like Binance and things like that, there's a reason I'm talking about those, because they are established projects with solid structure that you can, you could do 100% or you could do 300% if you do 3x. And so I think that can add a lot to a portfolio, especially if you do like CoinM futures. AKT. Okay, AKT. I'm scrubbing my charts. Oh, I mean, it's the same. It's all copy paste. Like, it's all this. I'm just drawing the same line over and over. It's just this one and then a breakout on the other side. Everything is bullish. Powell has blessed the markets and said, you shall continue higher. And the market has said, yes, we will. Thank you. Thank you for the go symbol. So AKT, same. Looks good. Just pick your poison. Pick 3, 4, 5. Do 2, 3x. Or just do little old lady and you can 1x all of them. It's up to you. For me, I prefer the 2 to 3x. Brian likes the little old lady approach. Fruity Forest. It could, but I don't think it doesn't look like a bull trap to me. The big focus is the S&P. Go back and watch the beginning of the stream. This is a major breakout. This is not a bull flat. This is not a bull. This is not a fake out. We will move higher from here up till about 5,900 in this area. Until we get here, up there, it's not a bull trap or anything. Oh, Cotter, those are all the memes. I know what you're doing. All right. I will discuss the memes. We will look at the All of the memes, and then I will call it. All right, let's see. Giga. Let's start with Giga on Mexi. I hate Mexi because they pretend like they're not going to KYC you, and then they do. Very annoying. So, yeah, I mean, this has not been around very long, huh? Is there something? When was this coin created? July? Was it? It was. That's. Look, so if this is your random W, then maybe you can go to 4 cents. You get a double. I don't know how much further. What's the market cap on this? Depends on the market cap. If it's low, then you can go higher. No, you got to do lower time frames mean time. I don't see why you want to focus on this one when there's better projects. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't change the four. This is the 4-hour chart. This is your W, and the target is 4 cents. Maybe you can go to 7 and then 11. These are your levels. So this is where I would be selling. I would take profit here and here and all the way up here. There you go. And if it gets to that last one, how much do you make? 500%. Not bad. Not bad. That's what I'm seeing on that. One thing I want to show you, Kevin, you're ridiculous. We need more people talking. Is Xano. Xano is on MEXC now. Remember when I talked about Xano? You guys remember that? When it was like $2? I talked about Xano when it was like $2. Xano's going higher. You want to talk about low market cap? This one is going higher. Consider getting some of this. Here's your potential W that's coming in. Next target for Xano is $8.60. You could even do an ABCD, right? And that ABCD points to 880. So somewhere between $8.50 and $9 is where you could see Xano going. This is consolidation. Chance to potentially get in, buy a little bit. I don't know how appealing it is. It's probably gonna double, but it could go a lot higher. I just know that this is a very low market cap coin, backed by some big pockets. It's a privacy coin that's not been around too long. Not that well known, but there's certain people that are backing this coin that have a lot of money. So there you go. All right, legacy alts, Sand. That is a gaming crypto, right? Sandbox. Is that gaming crypto? It's the same. Yeah, look into Xano. Trust me, you haven't heard about it, but it is a project that could go up a lot in the future. Yeah, metaverse crap. I hate metaverse stuff. Yeah, I mean, back here in March, it was 80 cents. That's potential for a big move, though. Not much of a... Wow, a 9. Let me see something. Let's look at a monthly chart of this. Whoa, look at that. Look at the divergence on MACD. 2 weeks. This is pretty incredible. So you've got weekly, monthly, everything. Wait, did the monthly have a 9? Monthly didn't have a 9. But the weekly and the 2 week both have Tom DeMark symbols. It's pretty good, honestly. I mean, if crypto really takes off, why couldn't this go back to like $3? It's definitely in the shitter And it looks like it could turn around. I just don't know what the motivation is for this. Like, why should it go up? BITO expiration max pain at 18. I have no idea. What is that? Is it some kind of stock? I don't know. I don't know anything about that. Agreed. Yeah, I like it. I think so of everything I've looked at tonight, I think my favorites are probably sand. This one, it looks good from a 2, 3, 4x standpoint. I think it looks really good. Optimism, of course. It looks great. Xano. Right, I talked about Xano. Xano's great. Low market cap. Could really see this taking off before anyone even hears about it. So consider, it's kind of hard to buy, but it usually when you're early, it's hard to buy some of these things. So that's one to keep in mind. Yeah, I think those are the three. I mean, Cutter, you mentioned GRT. I think GRT looked really good. Yeah, GRT old highs were at 45, so that's a 2x, 3x there. I think those are good. I mean, AKT was good too. Kind of everything, right? Like if we look at, I mean, I can even do others. There's this others crypto excluding the top 10. There's this others index. And it looks pretty juicy. I mean, basically all the charts just look like this. This is it. These are the charts. And you can maybe expect most coins to just do something like this where they go right above previous highs. So on average, coins should return around 100%. So if you diversify enough, your portfolio will probably return 100%. But if you pick a few of these names and you do 2 or 3x, maybe you get 300, 400, 500%, especially with some of the names that we talked about tonight. Okay, I'm below 40 viewers. Things are dropping. You guys are tired of me. I've talked for like 50 minutes. How's the new camera? You guys like it? Should I go back to the DSLR or should I keep using my phone? That means I can't touch it during the live stream. I can't look at anything. But feedback on it compared to like the old DSLR. Do you like this better? Should I change back? What's the opinion? Or nobody cares? Keep this one? Yeah. Okay, Kevin does keep this one. All right, only one person cares. Richard, I think others does exclude those. Yeah. Okay, Rudy, thank you for the feedback. Thank you, Didi. Consider, by the way, guys, joining TRI if you're not already a member. 30-day free trial. A lot is shared in the chat room from professional members. It's really super cheap for what you get. I mean, silver membership's like, I think it's 30 or 40 bucks a month. It's basically nothing. And there's a lot of good trades posted. And then if you want access to all of the other stuff that we have, you can buy the Pro Tools. We'll have a sale in November. It's quite expensive right now, but if you wait for Black Friday, we're gonna have a good sale. We're working on it right now. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. And I guess I will see you. I'll see if you're a member. I'll see you on the site. I've got a lot to talk. I'm going to be posting a lot over the next week. Like, this is the time to go crazy. This is the time to buy. Honestly, this is I haven't felt this bullish in probably a year. So yeah, hopefully that helps. All right, see you guys on the site. And if not, see you here next week. All right, bye everybody.